So this video is about how literally almost everything that's around us brainwash us or makes us believe that something is more attractive than the other thing. So if you start in the 1800s, you will find that men in that area, those times were much more comfortable with bigger size. Dad boards were common, being big was in style, and even then there was a fat men's club there. And then 1920s came along, that changed. Hollywood came, and apparently you get 20 pounds heavier on camera, so directors wanted actors to be lean, thin, and dashing. Whereas just in the 70s, the rock and roll started, and as a result, slimmer body came into play. The idea of men being not completely masculine and a little androgynous was hot in these times. In 1980s, all of that was changed by Arnold Schwarzenegger. And since then, there have been a rise in more and more masculine men. Now, if you look at the timeline, one of the things that is really common in that is that all of the changes that came into effect came because of Hollywood or because of media, one way or another. It was made cool or hot or stylish because of Hollywood or media promoted it in that way, in that era. So you can easily see that media has always shaped of how we view men, what we think is more masculine or more attractive or more hot. So if you search handsome men in India today, you can easily see what the problem with skin color is in that of India. Most people in that search result will be whiter or paler in skin color, which does not represent the skin color of that of Indian men or India in general. And the most disturbing thing about that is that not only their skin color is white, but most of the men are not even Indian. They are white. And Vision, a company, actually tried to get the average face from the handsome men Google search from different countries and then try to compare that with the actual average skin tone of a country and see how that lines up. And then they found out that the average skin tone that they got from the Google image search of every country is much more lighter than the average skin tone that corresponds to that country. They divided the population by the color, the skin color, based on the Fitzpatrick skin typing system, which is a weird system to divide people by skin color, but let's go by that for the study's sake. And they found that 61% of men in India fall into the type 3 skin tone, which is much darker in nature. But the Google search handsome men, or the average Google search of handsome men in India, corresponds to much more lighter skin tone than that of the darker type 3 skin tone that was found to be much more common in India. And also the thing is that in India, men are buying skin lightening product at a very high rate. Skin lightening products are a $4 billion industry in India, and men are responsible for 50% of that industry. Now, in the area that I have lived, I have used Grindr, and I have seen only fair people or only light-skinned people mentioned in their bio a lot of the times. And I have done a sample size review, or based on the 94 people that I can see on my Grindr grid without the Grindr premium, 15 of them had something in their bio that suggested that they are into men who are whiter or fairer. If you Google Hollywood star, male Hollywood stars, you will only see one African American guy and one Asian guy in the search results. And according to 2019 census, 13% of people and 6% of people in America are black and Asian. Clearly, there is a big discrepancy in what is being represented and what is the actual population percentage of a country. In a Gallup poll, they found that 4.6% and 4.3% of black and Asian people says yes to the question, are you LGBTQ+, whereas only 3.2% of white people say yes to that question. So even in the LGBTQ community, in LGBTQ subspace, there is a large number of gay, bisexual, lesbian, transgender people of color, but their stories are not represented that well in Hollywood. If you can just go and type Hollywood gay movies or gay movies simply, and you'll get 51 movies, and out of them only 8 movies has people that are non-white that play a substantial role in the movie, that affect the movie's plot or the plot of the movie or the protagonist in one way or another. Some of those movies are Twilight, The Paris is Burning, Boy in the Band, to name a few. It's not a surprise that in Grindr there have been complaints, multiple complaints regarding the sexual racism part of it, where Grindr allows people to write no blacks or no Hispanics or no Asians or no Indians into their bio, and they go unpunished with it. And not only that, there was a time when Grindr actually had an ethnic filter where you can filter out people just based on ethnicity. Luckily, that filter has been removed today, but that's a problematic thing. So, yeah, so it's definitely not a surprise that more and more people of color are using skin lightening products in India and America just to attain a shade or two lighter skin so that they are not at the bottom of the dating pool or not. Masculinity. Now, in the current grid that I have, I see 25 people that clearly states that they are not into feminine men in any way, shape, or form out of the 94 men that is in the grid. And 10 more suggest that they are into quote-unquote masculine / muscular men. So in a paper called Reported Effects of Masculine Ideal of Gay Men, 90 out of 547 men had said that they feel like they overcompensate in the masculinity department even when it's not who they are. And 71% of 547 people have said that the masculinity traits and this pressure of trying to act masculine or being masculine actually affects their self-esteem. When asked, in what ways do you feel like gay men's relationships are affected by ideals of masculinity in the US culture? 165 of them said in no way or shape or form they feel like it affects them in any positive way. But when asked that how does masculinity affect it in a negative way in gay couples, 83 of them said that it restricts the open communication and the expression, because a lot of masculine men feels like they don't need to communicate their feelings, or if they communicate their feelings, they become less masculine, which is problematic. If you're wondering if it is because of media, I guess so, it is. You just need to see at the Batman doll from the 1970s and from the 2010s or the 2020s, and you can see a significant increase in the muscle mass. Or, of course, we try to overcompensate for that, and being gay means trying to overcompensate for every fucking thing that is wrong with us or that we think is wrong with us. Being not masculine enough is not wrong, but apparently gay men are much more likely to use steroids, almost 5 times more likely to use steroids or drugs that increases your performance in the gym or gives you much more muscle mass. 5 times more likely. 5 fucking times more likely. Out of 100 men, 4 straight men use steroids, whereas the number for gay men is that out of 100 gay men, 21 gay men use steroids. That's 5 times more likely. Talked about how media and other Instagram, social media affects what we think is hot, what we think is not hot, what skin color we think is hot, what skin color we think is not hot, how a man should act to appear more hotter or to appear more desirable or dominant. And all I want to say is that all of that is bullshit. All of that is bullshit. Media trying to tell you you need to be more muscular to be more masculine is bullshit. Media telling you that if you are a feminine guy that you are not worth it is bullshit. Your body is a body. That's it. Yes, body has aesthetic beauties related to it, but that does not what makes a person hot or not. I'm trying to say that everything that you see in social media, that you media, is constantly trying to brainwash you and tell you that a muscular guy is much more hotter than a non-muscular guy. A white guy is much more hotter than an Indian guy or a black guy. And I just want you to think critically about it. And at the end of the day, if you're healthy, you don't have to look like a model. Well, at the end of the video, I would just like to say if you like this video, then please give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I forgot to say that during shooting the video, so I'm saying it right now while I'm editing it.